Jimmy, a strange game, that one.
Yeah, I don't know. There was some really disappointing aspects that I thought affected the game, and not from our players. Not from our players. I thought we started the game pretty poorly for sort of 5-10 minutes, and then leading up to the first try of London Scottish, it was just really poor from us. But once we got past that sort of 10-minute mark, we made some outstanding rugby. You know, we made some great breaks, scored some good tries. Really had Scottish on the rack there, but the momentum of the game changed in the second half, and some really big calls. And I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed not with the lads. You know, their effort was superb, but you know, not having one penalty for offside in a game where they were constantly stood in our line. I just can't get my head around that. You know, and that's disappointing. And I'm disappointed because that was the game. You know, that's really not that over. That affected the game. I don't. You know, leading up to the trial that went full length, we had a tackle in the air. We had a head-high tackle that ripped Jack Wetton's head guard off. He signalled that we had advantage. You know, Cass does a pretty average kick, to be fair. But we thought we had a penalty. You know, and that was a game. That was a game. I thought we deserved to win that.
Looking at the positives, Callum Irvine, his first game back, got 69 minutes. Pleased with how he went?
Yeah. I'm pleased. I'm pleased with everybody. You know, I thought everybody had a really good go. The young blokes had a good go. Callum come back and to get a good 70 minutes in that game there. I thought it was a good effort from himself. And it's good to see that we've got that. You know. That 10 sort of availability, you know, if we decide to play him there or Pete there or whoever might be there. I thought Jack Wetton was outstanding, I have to say. You know, it's been a tough year for him with some other things off the field there which we won't go into, but I thought he was outstanding today, Jack. You know, and he wasn't by himself. There were some players there. Louis Brown on the wing. I dropped it on his toes a couple of weeks ago. You know, he went playing up to scratch, and I thought he played well again today. So yeah, no, there was some very pleasing stuff from players. But you know, I kind of feel a bit disappointed, a bit deflated. And not because you beat, but just the nature of sometimes the way that you do get beaten. You know, and we need people here to see that. We need people from the club here to see these guys having a really good go, and they are having a really good go. And I think once we start getting a bit of the rub of the green, I know we'll get some and we won't get some, you know. Once we start getting that on a regular basis, these guys will never let this club down.
Looking ahead to Jersey next week, our fate in the cup is out of our hands now. We need other results to go our way to progress to the knockout stages. How will you approach that Jersey match?
Yeah, again, it's not for us to control the things that we can't control. I will approach that match as we approach every game. You know, we want to go out and win as we did with this, and we want to go out playing some rugby as well. And I want the boys to come off the pitch here at the end, not only fully rewarded with the efforts they've put in, but actually enjoying slinging the ball around, actually enjoying playing the rugby. You know, like I said, in that first half there, the guys come off the field at half time. It was a great buzz around the dressing room, and I want that. You know, I want the lads to come off it thinking, well, we've had a really good go there. You know, and enjoy playing rugby. And that's how we'll approach Jersey next week.
Was that attitude summed up in the try just before half time? Breakaway 90-metre try, seeing the space and going for it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we made a break up the middle, which we we failed to score straight after. You know, we made a nice break on that, and it was only sort of our poor finish to that we didn't score on the back of that one as well. You know, so there were 3 or 4 really solid breaks in that game where we went and we really, you know, we needed in that first half in particular. We needed to finish better. A couple in the second half as well. You know, if we'd have had a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit more solid execution on the end of the final pass, as it were, would have come away with the goods.